Pretend for a moment that the ideal or the best family for a child to grow up is the traditional nuclear family, one where both parents are biological, so the mother and father are biological parents. They are married and monogamous for life. That means they'll be there as grandparents, as role models. Pretend for a moment that is. And I'm not saying that there's not going to be other divorces and children out of wedlock and people dying and getting adopted. I'm just saying this is the ideal. Let's put it this way. Pretend that right before you were born, they have two chutes, and you get to choose which one you can go down. One says traditional marriage, biological mother, father, monogamous lifetime, and the other one says not. So which do you choose? Everything else you don't know. Everything else is equal, but just which of those would you choose? I think you'll go for the traditional one. I think. Again, I'm not saying all traditional families are good, but if that's true, so again, just pretend with me for a moment that that's good. If that's true, I still think we allow gay marriages. So before I explain myself, let's make sure you all understand, and I'm sure you do. Some churches believe that homosexuality is a sin. Chris Pratt, the actor, has just gotten pounded on Twitter for belonging to a homophobic church that hates the LGBTQ plus, it says. And evangelical churches tend to believe that homosexual acts are a sin, but they also believe in that having sex outside of marriage is a sin. And to be honest with you, much worse than either of those two things, if you have not accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you're going to hell. I would think that that's much worse, that they think that you're going to hell than they think that you're a sinner. Now, here is the problem, I think. I think most gay people, when they come out, have someone who's very unhappy with them for moral reasons, and that must be terribly hard, because it's something about who you are, not what you've done. And so I understand why they would be angry at these churches, but this is what these churches believe. Now, these churches oftentimes were against gay marriage, and my thought, for society's sake. We live in a society where half of marriages end in divorce, where the number of people who never even get married, who don't even have two people taking care of kids, has risen dramatically, especially amongst the lower class. Those numbers have just been amazingly high. And you would think that we would say, okay, look, we think that being gay is wrong and it's a sin. But if you are going to be gay, at the least you can do is get married, right? At least you can show people, well, even we gay people believe that this marriage thing is good, that you should have a monogamous relationship and be together, because that's what we want to model for the society as a whole. I don't understand why we would not accept gay marriages. So I'm okay with the gay. I don't know what I believe, to be honest with you. I would hate to be judging people. I find it hard enough to believe in God, let alone to try to tell you what God has to say to you. I know he says that don't murder, and he says don't do other things. Does he say not to be gay? I don't know. That's beyond me, beyond my ken. But even if he did say that, I would say I think we should have gay marriages. I think that's a good thing for people to find one partner and live their life with that one partner. Especially because I think it's so important for society to model that. Because that's how children should grow. And again, I don't know what to say when you have divorces, which I have, and you have people out of wedlock. Yes, we're going to have all those, but those aren't good. We would rather not have those things. Okay.